Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of the UNIBEN Alumni Series with Kevin Omokaro as your host. You know what we do here. We celebrate and we talk about UNIBEN. We celebrate alumni of the University of Benin, men and women that have gone through the four walls of one of the greatest tertiary institutions in Nigeria, as the University of Benin. And on today's episode, we have a man who is an advocate for Nigerian health sector reform. He's the co-founder and chair of the Ashanti Graham Health and Education Initiative Foundation. He is a consultant neurosurgeon. He's a man of different parts. He's also the chief executive officer of Ashanti Graham Medical Company Limited. He bagged his MBBS from the prestigious School of Medicine, University of Benin. He is Dr. Douglas Emeka Okor. Thank you very much, Dr. Okor, for creating time to join us today.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and
Alumni
Series for having me.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I'm going to start off with your mantra. The Nigerian patients are worth it. I quite understand that you, after your MBBS from the University of Benin, you were in the United Kingdom to get more trainings and all that. Was that the reason? Was it because of this match that you returned back to Nigeria?
Absolutely, Kevin. I think one of the first, because so I hit the UK sometime in February 2006, which is many years ago now.
Yeah.
And one of the key things I found when I got to the UK was that when it comes to the fundamentals in terms of what can make a nation great and stuff like that, yes, they had it, but in comparison, what came to my mind was that, man, these guys don't have as much as we do in Nigeria. If you look at, for example, like the potential, the human beings, what we have in the ground in Nigeria and stuff like that. And so that passion to actually do stuff in my country and actually awoke there was that sort of sense of that, oh yes, we can actually do it, we can change the narrative and stuff like that, actually pushed me and actually made me really passionate. And I started thinking, I mean, oh, just the way in the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
okay, where everybody, so you have a system where everybody gets the best possible care, specifically health care now. Okay, everybody gets the best possible care. Because we probably have more than they do in terms of the potential, we can do it in Nigeria as well. And so that's where it came from. Oh, also, the Nigerians are worth it as well. They are worth good care as well. Just the way I'm here in the UK now, they also, the way these people are worth good care, the way their governments, they also their institutions, and so they push for good care. They also, the Nigerian patients are also worth good care. And so that's where that mantra actually came from. The Nigerian patients are worth it. First of all, it was like the Nigerian patients are also worth good care. So we just shortened it. The Nigerian patients are worth it.
Thank you for revealing that. And I won't ask you if you regret coming back, because obviously with your speech and you're a patriot, I know you do. But how has it done in Benin, coming back, relocating with your tools, your medical tools, your resources?
Yeah,
coming back to Nigeria.
I'm sure most people have watched the film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So it's all woven into one. Of course, there's the good. Okay, the good means that despite the limitations that we do have in Nigeria and stuff, I personally, as an individual, I've been able to prove that, yes, that when we actually have a setting, we can create a setting that actually says, oh, let's provide something. Let's raise the tempo and raise the standard of what we're doing. Let's put those key things that we're going to talk about, quality and safety of care. When we talk about what we call patient-centered care, I have proven to myself that it's actually possible in Nigeria. Okay, and actually, if you watch some of my videos, for example, you see some of the things that myself and my team do in terms of brain complex, not just brain surgery. You can categorize brain surgery and spine surgery and stuff, but when we talk about really complex brain surgery, the kind of stuff that people say, no, let me use Nigerian parlance. I won't do this in Nigeria and stuff like that. So myself and my team, we've been able to actually show that we can deliver that kind of care with safety, with some measure of quality and stuff, with actually good outcomes. Okay, I'm just doing a short stint in the UK and I'm spending some time in the UK. But I'm actually doing an MBA now.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing an MBA. So I just went back to Nigeria for a short time to do an MBA. And during that short time, okay, because like I said, I'm doing a stint in the UK and I'm just doing some work in the UK. So during that short time, I spent like 2 days doing some complex cases. 2 brain cases and 1 complex spinal case, and of course the patients did very well. But I was telling my team there in Nigeria that, okay, we might not have all the stuff in terms of all the top guys we do have, but in terms of at the level compared to UK, because I'm just coming from UK, okay. But in terms of the outcomes that we're delivering, they are basically the same. They're basically the same, okay. So that's the good part. The bad and the ugly. We all know what Nigeria is. These are all from the socio-political to the economic, to the situation where you look at our politicians, you look at people in governance, you look at people in our MDAs, our ministries, departments, and agencies, and you look at that fundamental thing that we call value for human life. Okay, in the United Kingdom and other developed economies, for example, the reason why, for example, education is taken so seriously, you understand, healthcare is taken so seriously, housing, you understand, stuff like that, is because there's a fund. I don't know if there's an index, like a value for human life index or something like that, but in places like this, it is super high, okay, in these developed economies. But in Nigeria, it is practically non-existent. Okay, it's practically non-existent. So one of the cases, it's been a struggle for me as well, because whether you like them, I'm coming in with a particular philosophy, a philosophy of the Nigerian patients are worth it, a philosophy of there's a value for human life and stuff like that. Now, that means that if I'm coming in with that philosophy and I'm coming in with a particular template and a particular way of doing things and a particular standard of doing things, it means that people, the average person that gets in contact with me will actually be having questions. So why is it that you and your team are able to function at this level and other people are functioning at this level? And no human being likes to be looked down upon or say, why are you not doing this and stuff like that. So the system with people like me and my teams and stuff like that will frown on us as, who do you think you are? To come and putting pressure on us to raise our standards and stuff like that. And so the things move that way. One of the fundamental things that I found out is that probably because of the poverty, there's so much concentration on money. Money is good, Kevin. There's no problem with money. Everybody likes money. But when you concentrate on money so much to the point where you are not having, it now has a deleterious effect on how you're actually making decisions on the fundamentals of key things like patient safety and stuff like that. That's where big problems actually come in. So yes, so the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay. Let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to the basics. Medicine. Why medicine? What was the motivating factor? What pushed you for medicine?
Most people who knew me from when I was much younger and stuff like, will always see me say, Douglas is a very weird human being and stuff like that. So I actually went to a secondary school called Adola College.
Yeah,
it's funny enough, it's actually very close to UNIBEN. It's just almost opposite the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. The gate, not directly, but close by. So I went to Adola is a public school in Nigeria. It's a grammar school, it's a public school. And you know how public schools are in Nigeria in terms of the funding, in terms of when you talk about how the teaching is and stuff like that. So it wasn't that great. But somehow I still came out of such a school, okay, and actually did well. I think I was the only one that went in with jam through first batch from that school, straight into medicine, first batch. But so the question, why when I was in my 5th year in secondary school, what we call SS2, okay, I wasn't one of those people who was thinking, I'm like, oh yes, when I finish doing this, I'll go to university. So I was just kind of laissez-faire, just a laissez-faire. I'm just rolling through life and stuff like that. But I remember because my dad is a pharmacist. My dad is retired now. But he had like this sort of pharmacy shop in those days, and because my dad was a PhD holder and it's called doctor, so most people thought that my dad was actually a medical doctor. So I remember one of my aunties, when I was much younger, used to tell me that, you'll be a doctor like your dad and stuff like that. But it was when my elder brother, because I'm the second child in my family, was when our firstborn, my elder brother called Ovien. It was when Ovien entered into university. And we're in an area called Okor in Benin. Those days.
Yeah.
I like the area. So then I remember then people used to be like, that guy has entered UNIBEN and stuff like that. So it was very weird. So for me, I was like, So people were actually impressed with my brother getting into university. I said, okay, I'll enter into university as well. So probably the combination of what my auntie had said earlier on, the fact that my dad was within sort of healthcare, sort of, you understand, and that sort of inspiration from my elder brother, you understand, that he had entered into university and stuff like that. Despite the fact that I was in a public public institution, I was like, okay, I'll enter university as well. And that's how I started becoming serious from SS2 into SS3. Started becoming reading my books that I never really used to do before. And all of a sudden from there, I just went straight into medical school in University of Benin, first batch.
Oh, that's great to hear. And as a follow-up question, why neurosurgery? Because this is a field that is not, it's quite uncommon. Or it's not a field that everyone goes into when it comes to medicine in Nigeria. I think with the stats we got from Punch in 2021, there are less than 100 neurosurgeons in Nigeria.
You're probably more than that now.
By now, yeah, probably. But it's still within that, a little bit above 100 or so.
Yeah.
So why?
It's probably up to 150, 160 to tell you the truth. In terms of the turnout, in terms of the people who are actually being completing their training in neurosurgery now. But
so why neurosurgery?
Why neurosurgery? Yeah. So in my third year in medical school, funny enough, I have very nice stories, Kevin. In my third year in medical school, my closest friend was in first year in engineering. I'll repeat that again. In my third year in medical school, where I was planning for my part 1 of my MBBS, my closest friend, instead of being in medical school, was in first year in engineering. His name is Nnamdi Chukura.
Okay. Was he a roommate in school or something?
No. His elder brother were classmates in secondary school. His elder brother. Okay. But all of a sudden, because his elder brother himself, they all entered into 100 level when I was at 300 level.
Okay.
But somehow, me and him just sort of got back close and everything and stuff like that. He was about a year younger than me in terms of age, but he was wise above his age. His name is Nnamdi Chukura, like I said. And so there was a day like that. He was the one that gave me one of my first inspirational book, Positive Thinking and stuff like that. So there was a day he actually asked me a question. Nnamdi asked me a very critical question. Why are you studying medicine? And I was like, Kevin, of course I'm studying medicine because really, why am I studying medicine? But that question now torpedoed into me actually settling down and actually over a couple of weeks and stuff, actually started to think, and that's that sort of basic thinking, rumination, pondering. And like, why am I actually studying medicine? Okay, so that now and I started thinking, okay, so I've always been an artist. I remember when I was much younger, I drew Voltron comics and stuff like that and everything. So I've always been very, very good with my hands. So as I think, I said, okay, why am I studying medicine? I should probably be a surgeon. Okay, I should probably be a surgeon. Okay. So the next question was, what kind of surgeon was I going to become? Okay, so and I looked at University of Benin Teaching Hospital, looked at UNIBEN and stuff like that. All from the time in the mid-70s when that school, that teaching hospital was created, there was not even one neurosurgeon. Not even one. So this time now, this was like, I was now in my 4th, going to my 5th year. Okay? Not one neurosurgeon.
And we're talking about late 1990s.
So this was like 1999, maybe 2000 or something like that. Not one neurosurgeon. The first neurosurgeon that actually started work in the University of Benin was now a professor, Dave Udo, and that was in 2007. Okay, until then there was not one neurosurgeon, and so I said, okay, there's value to be created, there's a space to be created to add value and stuff. So I decided in my 5th year or so that I was going to become a neurosurgeon. Okay, and guess what? When I told my friends then, I'm like, guys, I don't decide though. Now, brain surgeon, I'm going to become a brain surgeon. They laughed at me because guess what? I didn't have that sort of. I told you that when I was in 3rd year, my best friend or my close pally was in engineering. I remember I was saying the course with then. So all my people around me were in social science and stuff like that. I hardly used to actually relate with medical people then. It was actually when I finally passed my MD. I went to the clinical schools that started relating with medical people. So, and I was this kind of person that was always in parties and stuff, organized the biggest carnival in medical school.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that.
So when I told my friends that, oh, I have decided I'm going to become a brain surgeon, they laughed at me.
I'm more curious. How was the journey like, especially now that you didn't have a mentor, you didn't have someone to look up to in that area? So how was it like?
I think it was more of self-driven and just having mentors from afar. Okay, I remember on my 25th birthday, my present wife now, who was my girlfriend then, Loretta, she bought these Ben Carson books for me. I had those think big, big picture, this gifted hands and stuff like that and everything and stuff. So I was more self-driven, of course, with the support of people like Loretta and stuff like that. But with mentors from afar.
Okay, let's talk about the fun parts. It's a common saying that those in medical school, they don't really have fun, but with the little I know about you, I know that's absolutely not correct. So how were you able to manage these two, engaging in fun activities and studying as a medical student?
Well, it's very weird. Loretta always says that, man, in local parlance, anybody will follow me, good loss. so I've never, like, for example, I tell people I'm generally not a very academic person. Do you understand? I'm generally not a very academic person. Okay, but I'm the kind of person where once I put my mind to something and I say, hey, I want this. Okay, it's like a source of energy for me. Once I just say, hey, this is what I want. Do you understand? I go with it with my full power and stuff like that. I'm the kind of person where I'm not a very bookish person where I read books and stuff like that. But I guess I'm just one of those people who has that sort of brain that actually picks things up, especially when I'm interested in the thing. Who picks the things up easily and stuff like that. But I've always been that sort of fun-loving, party, outgoing person and stuff. I've always been that. So somehow I think I'm just blessed with that sort of personality where I can actually combine both things together.
So what was your finest moment? What can you look back to and say, whoa, you smile, say, oh, that was actually a good time in UNIBEN?
Finest moment, there are many, but definitely organizing that carnival in terms of fun. Organizing that carnival in medical school. I remember I was really crazy then because I remember that carnival. I was the lead person. It was like the UBEMSA Health Week. Okay, UBEMSA is the University of Benin Medical Students Association. So it was the Health Week, and myself and one of my very close friends were leading that sort of the part of the organizing the carnival and the big party and stuff like that. So I remember actually taking a megaphone. Okay, and actually going into a couple of places, the cafeteria area where people read and stuff like that. I actually entered where people were reading, and I mean, hey, I know all of that they read you and stuff like that too. But as soon as I read finish, make una just waka enter medical hostel. You know, better group people on there and stuff like that. And it was massively packed and stuff like that. So that was one of the highlights in terms of the fun parts. But there were many fun parts. Like I said, my best friend when I was in third year, was Nnamdi, and me and Nnamdi used to go to parties a lot. We used to groove and stuff. But yeah, that was one of the fun moments I really remember.
Okay, thank you. Talking about what you got from UNIBEN outside the classroom, what did UNIBEN teach you outside the classroom?
One of the key things, people always ask, oh, what does it take to be a neurosurgeon? Okay, people think that you must be super intelligent and stuff like that. That's actually important. But one of the key things is adaptability. Okay, to be able to go, imagine someone like me coming all the way from Nigeria, okay, to the UK. By the time I was actually pursuing my goals to become a neurosurgeon in the UK, there were almost no black person training to be a neurosurgeon. There were few, very, very few. But when you look at the numbers, so that meant that you had to have some stamina, some guts, some was a grit. Okay, grit is another word for stamina and stuff like that. And I'll be able to adapt to actually difficult situations, adapt to new situations that are very tricky, that you're not very used to, with all the new cultural things that you're seeing and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that UNIBEN actually really, really taught me. Okay, getting into UNIBEN first year, I actually stayed in Hall 3. Okay, so you can stay in Hall 3 and survive there, cook beans and stuff like that. Second year, I came from home. Third year, I stayed in Ekoso D. By fourth year, we had moved into campus and stuff like that. So definitely, in terms of
experience, UNIBEN, both in and out.
Both in and out. Okay. So once you go through those kind of things in UNIBEN and stuff like, it really sets you up to be able to conquer the world. That's just the truth. You understand? There's no sort of difficult setting or whatever that you cannot actually go through and come out stronger, more confident, and succeeding as well. So yeah, so those are some of the things that that UNIBEN actually set me up for.
Yeah. Let's talk about your foundation. Recently, you were at the University of Benin, as you have been doing for the past 14 years or so.
Yeah, well, my people were at the university. I wasn't physically there.
Yes, the foundation.
Our people and our representatives were there.
And you have been doing this, awarding the best graduate in surgery, if I'm correct, a laptop and cash for the past 14 years.
Roughly about 12 years now, 12, 13 years.
Okay. Every now and then there are students from the medical school coming out taking the oaths. What's your message for them? You have passed through that stage. You were there many years ago. So what's that message for them?
It's all about inspiring and motivating a new generation of Nigerian healthcare professionals. That's just it. And for us, because we have a niche. Okay, myself and Loretta, we believe that the space is so wide open for more people to come in and actually motivate and inspire a new generation of healthcare providers. And so that's why we actually picked one specific area, surgery. Okay, you have other departments, you have other courses. You have medicine, you have psychiatry, you have obstetrics and gynecology and stuff like that. But we actually picked surgery specifically. Okay, because both of us are surgeons. Okay, my wife is an obstetrician and gynecologist, but they are also surgeons as well. Okay, and I'm a brain and spine surgeon. Okay, so we actually picked that specific one so that, and then for us, the key thing was to actually show that consistency and just keep motivating and stuff like that. So, for example, if you look at the scores, for example, in surgery at the end of the day, once they've actually graduated, the scores over the years have actually increased. Okay, in terms of the aggregate score, because people are actually competing. Okay, people are actually competing and stuff like that. So, that prize. And guess what? That AGIF for short, Ashanti Graham Health and Initiative Foundation, that prize is actually the highlight. It's one of the key highlights of the induction of the medical graduates of the new doctors every year when they actually do it. So for us, it was just about inspiring a new generation of people. The AGIF mandate or their vision is 21st century healthcare for Nigeria. What does that mean? It just basically means the kind of healthcare system you have in the developed economies in Canada, UK, US, New Zealand, and all that. And we are saying that we can actually do that in Nigeria. But part of the road to that is actually trying to inspire a new generation of healthcare providers that see things a particular way. So yeah, so that's been the driving force. We've been very consistent for the last 12 years, and also other things have been added as well. Okay, as we get with things that have been added. So, for example, one of our very close friends who also finished from UNIBEN as well, Sebaba Agedo. Okay, he's based in Canada now. He now said, yes, so apart from inspiring the students, we also have to inspire the teachers as well. So he now added to it a laptop for the best lecturer. Okay.
Who determines that? Who determines the best?
So guess what? That's what makes it very, very interesting. It is the students themselves.
The votes
and there are specific criteria they actually look at when they're actually doing the voting. The last voting was done on an online platform and stuff like that. And guess what? Since they started this 4 years ago, only one person has been actually taken.
Wow.
Professor David Osifo is a pediatric surgeon. Only one person. So very soon the guy will have a laptop. You have a laptop business, so they're selling laptop very soon. And then also the dental people have also the dental people have also started something as well for the best graduating dental student, which is a laptop. So that's very inspirational. We started something, but it seems to be getting bigger, and and other people actually getting involved as well. And that's what we want. Okay, there's still space for people to give such inspirational and motivational awards in medicine, in obstetrics and gynecology, in other. So I'm using this as a medium to actually appeal to other people around the world. UNIBEN, medical and dental graduates and stuff like that. There are still other specific areas that people can actually be inspired and motivated. Yeah. So, and the dental person was Dr. Ogbemudia Adege. Okay, that's the person who's actually now giving that laptop test. So I'll repeat that. So, Dr. Ogbemudia Adege. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Adege. And like I said, thank you to Dr. Adege. Well, and also, let me not forget this, okay? So when we started this in 2012, it was a laptop and £100. We always give the cash pounds. We always give the cash pounds. So it was a laptop and 100. So that's the basic. But for the last 5 years now, okay, Dr. Austin Oraka, who was of the 1983 set of medical school set, okay, he added £100 to it. And so for the last 5 years, I think this is now the 5th year. This one that you watched, this latest one, is now the 5th year. Okay, they've been getting the best student in surgery has been getting a laptop and £200. Okay. So a very big thank you to Dr. Ogbemudia Adege, to Dr. Austin Raka, and Dr. Esosa Agedo.
Thank you very much on behalf of the UNIBEN alumni community, on behalf of the UNIBEN students as well. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your team and this other alumni of the university for their commitment to motivating the students.
Sorry, Kevin, let me just mention some people. Chief Aloysius and Chief Musa Amedu also donated laptops at some point as well. So Chief Aloysius and Chief Musa Amedu, both of them based in the UK.
Okay, thank you also to them. And I want to appreciate you, Dr. Emeka Douglas Okor, for creating time to talk to us. And hopefully when we call on you some other time, we know that you always answer.
Absolutely. You know, I'm also a distinguished alumni of University of Benin as well.
Yes, that is true. Distinguished alumnus of the University of Benin. Yes, you are a great man. It is well deserved. Thank you very much. Thank you. And that's the episode for today. I've been speaking with Dr. Douglas Emeka Okor, a consultant neurosurgeon and the co-founder and chair of the Ashanti Graham Health and Education Initiative Foundation. Continue to subscribe to our channel. We'll bring you more content about UNIBEN. We'll celebrate more alumni of the great institution. Thank you and bye for now.